Hello, everyone. I all hope you had a very, very wonderful, blessed day and a very great evening and also in the morning as well. As you can see, guys, I'm very grateful for your support in watching and also viewing my episodes. It gratefully, completely means a lot to me. As in, literally, completely means a lot to me. So grateful for you guys and God bless you all. As you can see, guys, today's weather is a bit quietly sunny and also a bit sunny and fully sky blue. But this weather is actually unpredictable as well in its own time. So it might rain in any minute. But anyway, guys, let's exactly continue. So today's episode we're to speak about the Superior Child, who is a supervillain and a member of the Order of Darkness, which is a sacred criminal terrorist organization that works on the behalf of the founders, who are an ancient group of supervillains who think that they're destined to become the sole rulers of the cosmos and of the rest of sacred existence in the process. Let's get to it exactly. In Superior Child's early life, he was exactly trained by the world archers to becoming a high profile assassin and also a killer at the time, where he was able to practice with these guns, able to exactly use guns and swordsmanship and marksmanship, able to exactly training himself to become the perfect killer and also the perfect assassin. During at that time, Superior Child exactly became very ambitious and very, 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 very aggressive with these tactics and with these abilities, that he's even exactly willing to kill the Four Nation Hunters and to purposely exactly wipe them all out completely. During at that time, he tried to exactly kill the Four Nation Hunters and he miserably exactly failed, as the Four Nation Hunters exactly remarked Superior Child as the greatest threat and also as a greater enemy of the Four Nation Hunters. To this end, the Four Nation Hunters exactly created wanted posters for this sacred assassin, and mercenary known as the Superior Child throughout the sacred worlds and throughout the known worlds and throughout the rest of sacred existence and throughout the known universe, so that any creature or alien or supernatural or superhuman has to be on a high alert of this dangerous assassin. During at the time, Superior Child gratefully returned to his headquarters within his central headquarters, where I was able to exactly come up with a strategy in order to attack and wipe out the Four Ancient Hunters. Before that time exactly appeared, the enforcer, the supervillain of the enforcer of the original Lola Magic appeared offering Superior Child another way in order for him to get his revenge and also his vengeance upon the Four Nation Hunters, which could exactly help the original Lola Magic remain in power and also in control over the sacred galactic war and over the rest of sacred existence, in order to exterminating and wiping out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans in the process. Despite this, Superior Child was quietly enlightened with this offer and very quietly, very much taken aback by this proposal, and he decided to become a subordinate and a follower of the original Romantic, as he told Black Mask as well. And Black Mask was very pleased that Superior Child will continue supplying the original Magic Shadow Empire with more highly compatible technology and very, very destructive technology, and also operatives and agents at his disposal, who is highly connected throughout the sacred underworld and throughout the sacred underworld's networks and systems as well. To this point, Black Mask mysteriously shook hands with Superior Child, stated to him that he's now an associate and also a subordinate and a follower of the original magic. Over the years, since the two villains quietly exactly met one another, Superior Child continues supplying the Shadow Empire with more highly compatible, destructive, and very powerful compatible weapons and dealing ship weapons and technology as part of the deal and also the agreement. Over the time, Superior Child remained at his central headquarters, exactly able to creating powerful weapons and digital network weapon systems and very, very greater, highly evolved weapons in order to wipe out the Four Nation Hunters and the rest of the sacred hunters of the sacred world and of the rest of the sacred universe as well in the process, because he now shares the same common goal as the original Magic and the rest of the original Magic's followers and of the and as well and of his forces as well. To this point, Superior Child continued remaining in his central headquarters, which is an ancient building that's quietly far off the known worlds of the known planets, which is in the abandoned worlds of the known planets, where he was able to exactly work from in full secrecy, continue to supply. To this point, he continued meeting up with these agents and followers and he told them that their duty and mission is for them to making sure that the original Lord of Magic remains in power and in control over the Shadow Empire, and that his dominance of his species and his kinds remains the sole ruling species of the cosmos and of the rest of the sacred universe in the process. To this point, the rest of the agents agreed, and the rest of the operatives completely agreed. Superior Child continued supplying the operatives with more weapons and with more dangerous technology in order for them to use to create turmoil and chaos throughout the sacred world and throughout the rest of sacred existence in the process as well. On the 1st of February, when news of the original death of the original Law Magic created a power vacuum within the Shadow Empire itself, forcing every other Shadow Empire warlord and commander and leaders to forming a secretive alliances with ancient groups of supervillains such as the Court of Nature, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Order of the Seven, the Order of the Four, the Order of Secrets, the Order of Power, the Founders, the Sacred Circle, Sacred Five, and the Unholy Alliance, and the Galactic, to secretly supply them with destructive and powerful compatible technology. These ancient groups of supervillains will supply the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders with more worlds and with more resources, with more worlds and with more known worlds and planets and resources, part of their deal in order for them to exactly become the sole rulers of the sacred universe and of the sacred world in the process. On the 15th of February, the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly approached Superior Child and told him of the news, and Superior Child told the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders that he gratefully heard the news of the demise of the original Law Magic. To this point, these Shadow Empire warlords and commanders decided to exactly working together with Superior Child to supply him with more battleships and battle cruisers and airship fleets and hot air balloons in order for him to exactly have an army of soldiers and an army of warships at his disposal. And Superior Child was very completely enlightened and very completely pleased and satisfied with this, as in very much completely satisfied that he'll continue on the legacy of the original Lord of Magic, no matter what. On the 19th of March, a fleet of warships and a fleet of battle cruisers and airships and hot air balloons entered the known world systems and began destroying and attacking the supernatural community and the rest of the alien community and the rest of the warlocks, and literally trying to exterminate them and wipe them out. Superior Child was quietly overseeing the destruction of the villages and of the known worlds, as he was completely happy and very, very, very enlightened over destruction. Not until the Intergalactic Coalition intervened and stopped the destruction of the supernatural clients and of the aliens and of the superhumans from being wiped out and also from being exterminated. The battle exactly continued until Superior Child realizes that his forces were completely overmatched and overpowered, and he decided to tell his soldiers and his armadas to heavily retreat in order for them to prepare another strategic attack or another invasion on the other worlds and civilization. To this point, he returned back to his central headquarters, in a different central headquarters within an ancient ruined cave of crystals, where I was able to exactly meditate in order to come up with a sinister plan and a very, very much more motivatable plan in order to attack and wipe out the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans in the process, to complete the goal of the original Lord of Magic's dream and mission as well in the process. To this point, he was quietly approached by a dark druid who exactly told him that the dark druids and dark witches are willing to exactly associate themselves with whoever is in power and also in control of everything else within the sacred galactic war. And Superior Child was very gratefully relieved and very gratefully surprised of this, as in completely relieved and very, very gratefully surprised that he will have an army and also followers of the dark magic users at his disposal as well. To this point, he exactly told the dark druids that they're now at his service and that he will be the current leader of them as well. On the 9th of April, Superior Child exactly met up with a group of a dark witch, a dark druid, a dark faithful, and a dark sister, who are the most formidable and mortal and powerful dark magic users who banished and trapped the fallen in another dark pocket dimension many centuries ago, who came together and formed their own ancient secret society known as the Order of the Four. Its common goal and real goal is to maintain the cosmic balance of power, by any means necessary. To this point, he met up with the four most powerful ancient dark magic users and exactly told them that his forces and his resources are at his disposal as well to them. The Dark Sister was completely exactly taken aback as he told Superior Child that he doesn't exactly want real power or real any service of power in order for him to become more powerful or rather to become more greaterly stronger and immortal. Superior Child exactly told the Dark Sister that he doesn't exactly require true dark power or true powers in order to defeat his mortal enemies or his adversaries or his opponents when he can exactly discover his true power and will to exactly discover his enemy. All it requires discipline and strategicness in order to defeat an enemy. The doctor completely agreed with Superior Child that will exactly continue supplying him with more resources and more power. And the one dog which exactly told Superior Child they agreed that they'll let him exactly supply them with more resources and more power. And also the Dark Faithful told Superior Child that never ever told anyone, never tell anyone about this ancient secret society and its existence to the rest of sacred society and to the rest of the sacred universe and to the known universe, that it cannot be revealed and never be known to anyone else. It's an ancient, shadowy, deadly, secretive organization that works behind the shadows and behind the scenes to controlling and maintaining the cosmic balance of power. And Superior Child gladly agreed that he will keep the existence a secret and it will remain a secret to him only, and that no one will never know about it. And also the Dark Witch exactly told Superior Child that they should only that the alias name is Mr. Shadow. That behind the secret shadowy ancient secret society organization of the Order of the Four, his alias name is Mr. Shadow. That they should refer them as Mr. Shadow. And Superior Child completely agreed that he will refer them as Mr. Shadow. After that, Superior Child completely left the four powerful dark magic users within the ancient ruins of the ancient caves and completely exactly headed back to his next central headquarters as well. On the 20th of April, Superior Child then exactly met up with these forces and agents as the agents exactly told him that the Intergalactic Coalition and the Shadow Empire are currently waging war against each other and are willing to do whatever it takes in order to saving those worlds and those planets from being under the sole control over the Shadow Empire. To this point, exactly, Superior Child exactly told his agents that they need a strategic plan in order to exactly reclaim those worlds and put them back under the control over the Shadow Empire and over the control over his forces and over the control of the Shadow Empire, which he told them that he has come up with a very, very strategic and a wise strategy in order to gain those worlds and put them back under control over the Shadow Empire. On the 15th of May, Superior Child and the rest of his hot air balloons exactly flew over the known worlds and the known world cities in order to exactly investigate and scout out the supernatural cities and the alien cities and the superhuman cities to see exactly how much does the Intergalactic Coalition and the rest of the rebels and the rest of the Phoenician hunters and rebels have managed to liberate these alien cities and superhuman cities and supernatural cities from the control of the Shadow Empire. To this point, Superior Child discovered that it's time for him to play his final strategic invasion plan on these ancient worlds and cities once and for all, meaning his tactic needs to come to bear fruit by any means necessary. On the 19th of June, Superior Child brought an army and a fleet of battleships and an army of battle cruisers and an army of hot air balloons and an army of airship fleet ready to attack and ready to lay waste to the entire supernatural community of the alien and superhumans, which he did so, and the rest of the ancient creatures exactly fought back against Superior Child's invasion fleet and completely exactly took them down and defeated them. But the soldiers kept on coming as if they were overpowering them until the Intergalactic Coalition and the Universal Founders and the Universal Magic Heroes appeared and began exactly fighting up against the enemy, which able to exactly level the playing field. Superior Child realized that his forces and his armada were completely outmatched and literally overpowered, and he decided for them to exactly retreat and withdraw the invasion. But Superior Child exactly told these heroes that he will once again return in full power and also in a full strategic way by any means necessary. On the 29th of June, Superior Child exactly returned to his central headquarters of his ancient cave, where he was able to purposely exactly meditate until one member of the Order of the Four appeared, known as the Dark Faithful, and told him that they exactly warned him of a strategical invasion, that he needs true power and true dark energy and power. Superior Child exactly declined the offer and told the dark magic user that he doesn't acquire true power or anything else like that. All it acquires is strategicness and great effectiveness. That's all it exactly takes. And the Dark Faithful exactly told Superior Child never to underestimate the universal heroes, the abilities, or any of the abilities in thwarting your operation and your successful plans, especially with the Four Nation Hunters and the Intergalactic Coalition and the Universal Founders all working together. That makes them more powerful and more dangerous and very much quietly unpredictable as well. Superior Child completely agreed with the Dark Faithful that we quietly did exactly underestimate them and undermine their ability and their abilities in thwarting his operation and successful tactic, which it will not exactly happen again, as he told the dark magic user as well. On the 14th of July, Superior Child continued meditating within his central headquarters, able to exactly try to consume his thoughts and thinking of another strategy until Silver Face appeared and exactly giving him an offer that he cannot exactly refuse, an offer that can exactly help him with these goals and with these plans. Silverface exactly told Superior Child that he would like for him to join his sacred terrorist criminal organization known as the Order of Darkness, which has a goal to restoring power, to the sacred world and to the sacred creatures and to the sacred beings and creatures and to the known worlds and to the sacred universe and to humanity by any means necessary, making sure that the founders remain the sole control over the rest of the cosmos and over the rest of the sacred galactic war. Superior Child exactly gladly accepted the offer and the proposal from Silverface and gladly shook hands with Silverface that he is now a member of the Order of Darkness and that he'll be glad to lend his resources and his expertise to the organization, even if it means by making sure that the founders become and remain the sole rulers of the cosmos. And Silverface was quietly, completely, very surprised and very completely happy. On the 29th of July, Superior Child completely met up with the mechanists and with the engineers of his airship fleet, and battleships and battle cruisers and warships at the time within the ancient ruins of the ancient temple, and exactly told them that all these ships and everything else and all the ranging and advanced battleships and armadas will be delivered straightly to the Order of Darkness, and they'll be headed straightly to the Order of Darkness, and they'll remain there as a resources and also as an army for the Order of Darkness. And the mechanists and the engineers were quietly completely very pleased to hear that Superior Child has become a high-ranking member of a sacred criminal terrorist organization known as the Order of Darkness as well. And Superior Child and the rest of his followers and engineers were completely very pleased and very enlightened of that. On the 8th of August, Superior Child exactly met up with the four dark magic users, the Dark Druid, the Dark Witches, and the Dark Faithful, and the Dark Sister, and told them that he has become a high-ranking member over all of the Order of Darkness. The Dark Sister was exactly skeptical of hearing that, as he told Superior Child that his mission exactly still holds purpose, and Superior Child exactly reassured the four ancient, dark, and powerful immortal dark magic users that everything is going according to schedule, the way it's meant to be, without any further interruptions or anything that can exactly dispute their plans or their further goals, that their plans will get to bear fruit one way or another. And they were all in luck to be pleased and reassured as well. On the 10th of August, Superior Child attended a video conference of the members of the Order of Darkness, where Silverface exactly told the members of the Order of Darkness that they all have the assignments and they all have the assignments and the necessary missions that they have to completely begin and also to complete for the organization, and that the spies quietly in place in order for her or him to exactly gather intelligence on the Intergalactic Coalition and also on the Universal Heroes. Silverface exactly told the members of the Order of Darkness that the new Neural Magic and the new Order of Power, which is his new ancient secret society known as the Order of Power, is fully arising and ascending in power, and it's also exactly forming his own new formidable shadow empire within the new shadows. So Prince was quietly taken aback as he heard of the new little magic was quietly reforming his new shadow empire behind the scenes and also within and also from the shadows, meaning in other words he's very powerful and very dangerous. So Silverface exactly told the members of the Order of Darkness to be very careful and also to be very strategic, not to underestimate the top competitor, especially the Universal Prince and the Star Prince as well. They are very powerful villains and very powerful competitors who can never be underestimated. And Superior Child completely agreed as well with that. On the 10th of September, on the 10th of September, Superior Child exactly returned to Sacred Valley, where he watched as the assassins, and as he watched the assassins were quietly training on a swordsmanship training, and it was quietly exactly watching them as he realized that his followers could also learn a thing or two as well by that. On the 19th of September, Superior Child exactly trained a group of his followers in a swordsmanship training, and also in hand-to-hand combat, in order to see how well they can exactly fight. And was very quietly, completely pleased that they quietly have rose to the occasion and have also quietly ascended to the occasion as well. On the 29th of September, on the 29th of September, on the 29th of September, Superior Child and the rest of his forces exactly stumbled upon an ancient and powerful big temple where they began exactly modifying it, and also rebuilding it into its greatest needs. And at the time, the other dark magic users, such as the dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful, began using a dark magic to creating, to rebuilding, and placing dark crystals on the temple, where at this rate, Superior Child exactly began to understand that the dark druids and the dark witches are powerful dark magic users who cannot be underestimated, and he decided that it's time for them to play their part in this sacred galactic war, meaning once and for all as well. On the 15th of October, Superior Child exactly was quietly present in an interrogation when one doctor would exactly question one of his followers in order to ask them questions if they exactly quietly are traitors within the mist, who are quietly being infiltrated, who are quietly sent to infiltrate the Order of Darkness, his followers, and everything else. And during the interrogation, the doctor would exactly told the Superior Child that they got nothing but nothing, and that they were quietly speaking the truth. Meaning, in other words, Superior Child exactly told the dark druids and the dark witches and the dark faithful to continue investigating and also to know more about the traitors and the spies within his ranks. He cannot afford them to disrupting the plans, the future plans, and the future goals of the Order of Darkness and also the founders as well. That their goals must come to bear fruit one way or another as well, by any means necessary. On the 29th of October, Superior Child secretly exactly convened with the four most powerful ancient dark magic users, the Dark Druid, the Dark Witch, the Dark Faithful, and also the Dark Sister, where they were able to meet in a secretive dark crystal temple that's beneath the caves. And Superior Child exactly told the four dark magic users that everything else is going according to plan and also according to schedule, the way it's meant to be, and that the plan can finally take place. The Dark Sister exactly told Superior Child never to underestimate the Universal Earth Hero's abilities or the World Hero's abilities. They are powerful superheroes who cannot be underestimated by any and all means necessary. And Superior Child completely agreed that he will not make that same mistake ever again, and that he has a plan up his sleeve in order to wipe them out and remove them out of the way permanently. On the 10th of November, Superior Child and the rest of his forces began exactly starting a secretive ambush against the Universal Founders, which they exactly did, ambushing them on a secretive icy world planet that's quietly full of mountains. And the ambush exactly took place where they were heavily equipped with destructive and compatible Shadow Empire technology in order to wipe out the Universal Founders and the Universal Monsters. The Universal Founders and the Universal Founders and the Universal Monster Heroes exactly worked together. They marshaled up their troops and fought against the enemy. Superior Child exactly took out his gun and began exactly attacking at the Universal Founders, realizing that he's quietly overmatched and evenly matched, and he quietly exactly couldn't take them all along by himself. He decided to completely vanish and disappear within the battle as well. The Universal Founders and the Universal Monster Heroes completely captured several key enemies and were able to exactly send them to the Astral Prison to remain in custody for their crimes against the sacred world and against the rest of sacred existence. The Astral Prison is a secretive Astral Prison that is designed to house super criminals and super villains and evil warlocks and warlords and commanders and aliens and superhumans and dark and powerful magic users as well, such as the Sacred Prison and the Dark Ark Prison, which is also exactly created to house super criminals and super villains and powerful dark magic users as well. On the 19th on the 19th of November, Superior Child exactly met up with Silverface within the central headquarters of the Order of Darkness and told him that the plan is quietly going according to plan and everything else can exactly proceed the way it must exactly proceed on without any further interruptions. And Silverface exactly gladly shook hands with Superior Child, telling him that it was the right choice to making him it was the right choice to exactly making him the member and the associate of the Order of Darkness as well. And Superior Child gladly agreed on that as well. On the 15th of December, Superior Child returned to the modified Dark Crystal Temple, where he was able to exactly meditate within the sacred chambers until one of the warlords and all the other commanders appeared, telling him that it's time for them to discuss their regional plans. The warlords and all the other commanders exactly, and the Shadow Empire warlords exactly met up within the sacred chambers where they were able to carve up a map of the sacred worlds and of the sacred nations and tribes and clans and villages and all the known worlds. And the warlords exactly began exactly coming up with strategies in order to attack and invade other worlds. Superior Child exactly told the other warlords and commanders that the right time to strike will exactly come, but it must come in their own due time, not exactly now. The perfect time is for them to exactly wait. The one warlord exactly told Superior Child that their forces have quietly created and reconstructed a powerful drill that is quietly destined, that is quietly meant to break through the walls that the ice creature has created through the walls of the ancient colony cities and worlds, which they'll be able to conquer in days and also in weeks. And Superior Child was very, very quietly pleased with that and very gratefully relieved with that there's progress for this strategic plan and also moment as well. On the 9th of January, Superior Child exactly attended a video conference held by the members of the Order of the Four, where one Dark Faithful exactly told him the plan should exactly go on the way it's meant to be and that everything else must go on according to schedule. And Superior Child exactly reassured the members of the Order of the Four that everything else is in place and that the plan has been set into motion, that nothing can disturb it, and that he will never again underestimate the Universal Founders and the Universal Monster Heroes, especially the United Heroes and the World Heroes' abilities in thwarting and ruining his operation. That won't exactly happen again by any means necessary. The Dark Faithful exactly told the Superior Child it better not exactly happen again, as he told them completely. And Superior Child exactly reassured the members of the Order of the Four that it won't exactly ever happen again. Despite this, guys, Superior Child is an excellent assassin, a very great assassin who has lived for many centuries and for many years. He's extremely immortal. He has a power of invulnerability and the power of super speed, the power of super hearing, the power of super speed and hand-to-hand combat, swordsmanship, marksmanship. He's very, very skilled with the gun. He's very, very skilled with the gun and with the sword and with the shuriken. He's very, very skilled with super hearing and also with super sight and also with sensing abilities. He maintains his usual basis of operation, such as his central headquarters, which is an ancient crystal huge temple where he can exactly work in full secrecy, and he believes in the Order of Darkness's goals and mission to restoring power to the sacred world and to the rest of the sacred universe as well, and by making sure that the founders remain the sole rulers of the cosmos and of the rest of the known universe by any means necessary. He's a full ally. He's an ally of the members of the Order of the Four, which is an ancient secret society of powerful dark magic users who've exactly banished the fallen from exactly banished the fallen from an ancient pocket dimension many centuries ago, and is willing to exactly aid them and help them and supply them with more resources and with more compatible power. He also believed in the original Lord of Magic's grand vision and goal to reshaping and recreating the sacred world and the sacred universe in his image, to making sure that his species and his race becomes the most dominant species throughout the sacred world and the rest of sacred existence. And he's willing to make sure that the new Lord of Magic and his new ancient secret society and his new empire remains in power. And he believes in the Order of Four's goals and mission that they should exactly maintain the cosmic balance of power. And he's willing to supply the four powerful dark ancient magic users with more resources and with more power more resources and with more power as much as he can in order to help them and aid them with their goal. He learns from his past mistakes never to underestimate the world heroes or the universal founders or the universal monster heroes or the universal heroes' abilities in thwarting his operation and as well as his plans. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to take them down and bring them down by any means necessary, even wiping them out. And he quietly despises and hates the Four Nation Hunters and is willing to do whatever it takes to remove them out of the way and get rid of them permanently, even by forming a powerful alliances with the members of the Order of Darkness and becoming a high-ranking member himself of the sacred criminal terrorist organization, with its goals to restoring power and also greatness to the sacred world and to humanity as well in the process. He's very ambitious and very ruthless and very, very cunning and very compatible. He likes the thrill of battle and he waits for the perfect time to strike. And he's very strategic and very, very, very smart tactician, very, very smart tactician and very clever. He has a huge fleet of warships and battle cruisers and hot air balloons and battleships at his disposal, ready to act when he gives the order and commands. He even exactly forms a powerful alliances with the other ancient group, with the other group of dark and powerful magic users, such as the Dark Druids, the Dark Witches, the Dark Faithful, in order for them to exactly help him with his goal, in order for them to exactly help him further his goal and his ultimate plan for sole control over the other worlds and other cities of the sacred world and of the sacred universe in the process as well. He's very ruthless and very powerful, clever, smart, strategic, and he's willing to exactly let the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders exactly follow his every lead and also his every lead and every command as he gives the orders. He has a huge army of warlords and commanders and warlocks and dark druids and dark witches at his disposal, and he has a group of dark and powerful followers of assassins at his beck and call who are willing to carry out his mission and his legacy if he no longer exactly exists. He's very powerful, dangerous, ruthless, cruel, and very ambitious, maintains his usual bases of operation as well as his central headquarters known as the Crystal Dark Temple, which is a big and huge temple, enough in order for him to work in full secrecy so that no one can disturb him. With that, he hires powerful engineers and machinists to create and construct deadly, powerful weapons in order for him to use for war, such as battle tanks, battleships, battle cruisers, airship fleets, and hot air balloons in order for him to use to invade worlds and attack known worlds. He believes in the ability of the new Lord of Magic and in the original Lord of Magic's goals that they exactly have to bear fruit by any and all means necessary. He still is a subordinate of the original Lord of Magic, and he still will remain so. Even of the new Lord of Magic, he will remain an ally of the new Lord of Magic and also of the old Lord of Magic, who quietly has passed away. Well, that's it for today's guys. That's it for today's episode. I all hope you have a wonderful, blessed day and an evening and an afternoon, and also enjoy your holidays. I'll exactly see you tomorrow as well. Yes, tomorrow. Very grateful for your support in viewing and watching my episode. Truly grateful for that. God bless you all. Enjoy your afternoon and your evening, and stay safe and stay happy. Bye. Bye.